Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So we're closing the week out. We've got Gocha Green. Also, if you know the proper way to spell that, please let me know because I'm still just guessing. I've had a couple different ways so far from what people have told me. I still don't know. But yeah, so we got Gocha Green. We revamped the list from what we had earlier this week. Earlier this week, it was a very defensive green list, and we really missed out on having a little bit of extra punch. So today, we're kind of balancing out the need for some more aggro, while as well still keeping some good utility as well as good defense in the deck. And really, I think it's come together in a really great way. I'm really liking what we're seeing here. Also, don't forget our memory marker this month is Doraemon, so if you're playing some X-Antibody, this is a great memory marker for that deck. It's always nice having a themed memory marker for the deck you're playing. Just makes it feel that much more awesome, and it makes you feel that much more unique, I think, with what you got going on. You can find this on our Etsy page, link in the description below, as well as you can see all the previous memory markers we've had on the channel. You can get those there as well, including some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch, like our white game mats, as well as our sleeves, and hopefully here in the future our dice as well. All right, so we're going to kick this thing off again. We're just showing the whole deck. If you guys like this kind of format where we show the whole deck just from the start, please let me know in the comments below, because if not, I might as well just go back to doing what we had before, where we were showing 4 cards at a time. But I think having it like this makes more sense because you can see the whole list as a whole, and you can kind of make better judgments of why we have certain cards early on, like in the rookie lineup, if you can see what we have later on. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Right off the bat, 4 Koromon. All we have is four babies, which is really kind of weird for green, because especially with Mimi, you do a lot of promoting. But man, I really feel like for green Gocha, it's Koromon or bust. I mean, really. So when attacking, reveal the top card of your deck and place it at the top or bottom of your deck. So if you reveal the top card, it's not a level 6 and you don't have one in hand, you can't do any other setup like we're going to discuss. This is a great way to just get one bad card out of the way. That sort of thing. So I think you really, really need Koromon. I really felt like he had a good impact in the games that we played. If you can't pre-set up what's on the top of your deck with some of our other cards, getting rid of bad cards is definitely a good way to go. So Koromon at a 4 of, and no other baby, just so we can guarantee we get the Koromon. Next, I got Tentomon here, just for an on-play, one of our different on-play targets that we can go with. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a green card, add it to your hand. Otherwise, place it to the bottom. A green Digimon card, I should clarify that. If it's an option or a tamer, it's got to go to the bottom. But this is a great way to get into your pieces. Literally, the most important cards in the deck are the Digimon. If you don't hit an option or a tamer, it's not the end of the world. If you do hit an option or tamer, it's not the end of the world. The most important things in the deck are the Digimon, so it's really important to get those hits. Next, we got 3 Terriermon here, just kind of a good memory blocker. It's kind of a must, honestly. In the meta like it is, memory blockers are just so good. I think memory blockers are more important than reduction blockers, just because there's more things in the meta that gain memory. So you got Bokomon, and like every hybrid deck, blue runs a million different memory gaining cards. Even stuff like Jesmon, they're gaining a little bit of memory here and there. You literally hit pretty much, I think, every deck. I can't think of a deck that somewhere, somehow isn't gaining memory. Literally, because of the memory boost cards, literally every color has a way to gain memory these days. So just memory blockers, I think they're the way to go because they're just so generic. Next, we got Gatsumon. This is a great new addition for the deck from BT7. On play, reveal 1 green Digimon card from your hand. If you do, place it on top of your deck. This is one of the things I was talking about. If you play this, you can take a level 6 that you have in your hand and then put it on the top of your deck. So when you go to swing in with your level 5s and they trigger, I assume you know what the point of this deck is. I assume you know. Gocha Green is all about when you attack with a level 5, you can evo into a level 6 for free, but only from the top like 3 cards of the deck. So you gotta make sure you have a level 6 on the top 3 cards of your deck, or it doesn't work. So Gatsumon is just one of those great ways to kind of like make sure you have a level 6 there, because you can take one from your hand and put it on top of your deck. That's the point of Gatsumon here. So he is a play cost of 3 though, so this is like the only thing you can do that turn. If you have a memory fixer on field like Mimi, you can play this, set it up, and you have to already have your level 5 on field. You have to already be ready to go with everything else. So the reason I dropped Gatsumon, he was at a 4 of initially, but I dropped him down to 3. because we have Tortomon here, and we'll get to him in a minute, but Tortomon's effect basically kind of does the same thing, but doesn't require you having to play 3 memory to set it up. Like, you have to play this and then immediately swing with a level 5. If you play this and like past turn, you put that level 6 on top of your deck. When it comes back to your turn, that card goes back to your hand. Okay, like common sense a little bit there, but the card goes back to your hand when you draw it. So you have to go Gatsumon and then keep it on your turn and immediately attack with the level 5 to get any kind of value off of Gatsumon here. So not all the time are you going to be in a position where you can just play this guy out and it still be your turn. So, but most of the time, you know, in theory, with proper setup, it should be. But sometimes you like a little bit of utility. You know, it's like, I want to use my 3 memory for something else. I want to play like a needle spray or something like that, or dimension scissors. So if you want to use your memory for other things, you don't want to use Gatsumon for that. So just kind of a different way to go about things. It is in here because it is pivotal for the deck. Next, this is kind of one that not a lot of people run. I really like this guy. Way back when we got the green starter decks. Okay, when we got the green starter decks, this guy was awesome. This guy came out in BT1, by the way. He's been around forever and has hardly seen any play. While this Digimon is level 6 or higher, it gains security attack +1. Any way to give a mega security attack +1 on a rookie is, by and large, one of the best things ever. Look at Sunazaramon. Look at the promo Sunazaramon. That card is stupid expensive now, okay? Like, just crazy expensive because of how, you know, good it is. A rookie that gets security attack +1 for its archetype. That's incredible. Green would, you know, love, tons of other decks would love to have this. Now, it is a 1-cost Evo. Okay, so 1-cost Evo on top of, you know, one of your babies there. That is a bit of a bummer. If you're going first, that's kind of a shame. But if you're going second, you know, that's pretty solid still. So you can Evo into this and then still Evo afterwards as well. Green is very efficient when it comes to Evoing for the most part. So you can kind of make up for this elsewhere, I think. With the rest of the Evos. But I didn't want to go too heavy on that because, again, it is a 1-cost Evo rookie. It's nice when you can get it, but it's not always mandatory, especially if you need to play a little bit more defensive. If you want to play defensive, you know, you can go with something else. Just getting into the mega might be more important. But if you're going offensive, I think he's a great choice. Another great choice for offense, though, is Agumon. If you don't like the 1-cost Evo rookie, just go hard on the Agumons here. 0-cost Evo, pretty standard stuff here. But the inheritable, gain 1,000 on your turn. I mean, pretty standard Agumon stuff there. Gain 1,000 DP on your turn. That's what Agumon likes to do as an inheritable, and that's what he'll do for lots of colors. So, just a great, I don't know, generic kind of inheritable card you can kind of throw into any green deck for a rookie if you need rookies. Of course, hybrids don't. So, anyways, next on our list, this guy really is phenomenal. I think he's the reason that we dropped Gatsumon down to 3, because I think he is incredible. He really makes this whole deck like pop off. I think besides the whole mechanic of evoing for free into a mega, the second best, the whole like that brings the whole mechanic together is this guy right here. So inheritable, when attacking, you may reveal 1 green Digimon card from your hand and place it on the top of your deck to have this Digimon gain plus 3,000 DP for the turn. Like, if I could have just put that Digimon to the top of the deck, I would have been happy. But you're telling me I also get a 3,000 DP buff? Awesome. And what I like about this whole deck is when you attack, you know in that exact moment, do I need to be offensive or do I need to evo into something defensive? So with Tortomon, it's like, okay, I get a pick right now. So I'm going to pick my offensive card, put it to the top. It's like, oh, no. I'm not in a position I need to be offensive. I need to be defensive. I'm going to pick this defensive card, put it to the top of the deck. Either way, Tortomon rocks. So we are playing this bad boy at a 4 of. He is, by and large, the best level 4 in the deck for this whole strategy. So if you're in a position where you know you're going to be going into your level 5 and swinging here soon, he's great. So like turn 1 for you, whether you're going first or second, I think he is pretty much always going to be your second, or he's going to be your guaranteed like level 4 Evo on top of whatever rookie you go with. Absolutely. But that said, if you don't have any other pieces, maybe Tortomon isn't the way to go. If Tortomon isn't, if you only have Tortomon and no level 4s, no level 5s or 6s, then maybe you might want to go into Togemon. So Togemon we have in here, bringing it back as well. Another BT1 card we're bringing back. When Digivolving, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 level 5 or higher Digimon card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in order. Any color, No color restriction, no level restriction. Besides, it needs to be 5 or higher. But 5 or higher is fine. We've got Togemon on field. We got our level 4 already, so it's fine to add a level 5. Like, we're looking for level 5s and higher. If we're going to Togemon, that's probably means we don't have, you know, whatever level 5 or 6 that we need to keep the strategy going. So great card, absolutely outstanding. And then also we can add like our level 7s off of him that are white as well. So no color restriction is really boss. So went as a 4 of on the Togemon as well, just to keep the consistency going. Next is kind of a battle spot here. So first we got Kabuterimon. Blocker, 1 Evo cost level 4, already great. 1 Evo cost level 4, I really like it. Then we can stair step up into a level 5 really easily, and then, you know, swing and get the good value off the level 5. But in addition to that, he happens to be a blocker. Blockers are in a really rough spot this meta, I think. But if you have the room in the deck, like if you're not playing a hybrid deck, you probably got a decent amount of room in your level 4 slots. So I think there's no harm in it. Now, if you really just don't want to have a blocker for whatever reason, you can always go with a Vegemon instead. You still get that 1 Evo cost here, and you know, so that's pretty awesome. But again, I think Kabuterimon brings the same kind of value there, unless you just really just plan on hard playing Vegemon. I think you're going to miss out too much, though, on the Vegemon. If you're hard playing a level 4, you're missing out on like your offensive inheritables here, or you're missing out on Tortomon here. You know, for whatever. I'm pretty hard set on Kabuterimon. I think Kabuterimon's the way to go. Just a little bit of defense, just a tiny tad bit, just a dash, just to keep you in the game. You don't have any kind of recovery in this deck. We don't really have a whole lot of stun. We have a couple. As you can see down here, we'll get into them, but we have a couple megas that are kind of good for utility or stunning a little bit, but sometimes just a blocker. Like in the right situation, all you need is a blocker. So just set a 3 of there just to kind of round out the level 4 package. Next is our level 5s here. These are basically identical. So the only difference is their play cost and their DP. That's it. And like literally like 9.9999 times out of 10, that's not going to matter. You're literally just going to Evo into these guys and then attack. So when attacking, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. You can Digivolve this card into 1 level 6 green Digimon card among them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in end order. So that's Jagamon here. And then Mame Tyramon, or Tyramon, from BT7. So we got basically just a second copy of that same thing. So same ability here. We just get to Evo for free into our level 6s. So we went ahead and maxed out on these guys. 4 and 4. We really want to see them like as soon as possible. Like the whole deck and linchpin is on these guys doing this trick. So we have to like get into them ASAP. So went ahead and maxed out on 8 copies of them. Next, we've got our first level 6 here. This is one of our defensive options, I think. So when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then gain 1 memory for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. So when Digivolving, normally he's a 5 Evo cost, but if you Digivolve into him for free, then when you Digivolve into him, you suspend something, and then for everything your opponent has that's suspended, you know, if they had attacked on the previous turn, they've got a bunch of stuff, you can just net so much free memory off this guy. It's just absolutely crazy. I mean, you like literally, could you imagine just Evoing him into him for free and then gaining 5 memory on top of that? That's wild. Okay, so that alone is really cool. 13,000 DP, sweet, awesome. But in addition to that, opponent's turn, all of your opponent's Digimon gain the effect of your turn. You must trash 1 card in your hand to unsuspend this Digimon. So all your opponent's Digimon have that ability. So now, so you suspend something with Ebb and Woo, anything else that's still suspended also, it comes to your opponent's turn, they have to trash, you know, 3, 4, 5 cards out of their hand to unsuspend their stuff on field. That's huge. Okay, that's a massive thing in this game is having hand resources. If you've ever played Rookie Rush, you know the struggle of having hand resources, because you just kind of flood your rookies out, and if you don't win within like, you know, 2-3 turns, you lose because you can't keep and maintain the hand resources enough to play. So Eben Wumon kind of does that same thing to every deck that he plays against. So I think that's really powerful. We were originally playing him at 4 of because that just was such an powerful ability. but it kind of came back to we didn't have enough utility in the deck, and we didn't have enough offense. So we dropped 2 copies of Eben Wumon, and then replacing the Eben Wumon, we put in 2 Mega Gargomon. Again, another old school card here, making a comeback for this deck. Normally a 4 Evo cost, which has always been really steep. You know, maybe for back during BT3 when this came out, it might have felt balanced then. 11,000 DP is kind of low for a 4,000 Evo cost, but when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. So that's kind of neat. You can get some really good utility out of that. Just, you know, staving off attacks, that sort of thing. If there's anything big on your opponent's side of the field that they wanted to attack with, you know, this is a really great card. So especially if they go to like something like a Zwart, right? And so they go Zwart and they pass turn. Mega Gargomon, suspend that defeat or that just regular Zwart, and so it can't attack. Okay, like I don't want it to attack. I don't want it to bounce a Mega to hand and pop whatever level 6 I have on field. You know, none of that. If it's a defeat, also I don't want the defeat coming in and crashing and then using its ability to delete another Digimon on my field. You know, whatever the case may be, this is just a great card. I think it's a great utility piece. But in addition to that, while your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So you get the guaranteed suspend because of his ability suspending something. So then you get that guarantee of security attack +1. So this is going to be where your punch power comes in. 11,000 DP might seem low right off the bat for something doing multiple securities checks, especially if you combine it with our rookie giving it another security attack +1. That's checking 3 security on 11,000 DP. In this format is fine. Like really, truly, in this format is fine. Everything like the massive amount of decks are all going to be lower than that. It's a super hybrid, heavy format. Tons and tons of tamers, tons of option cards, tons of rookies that like search them and like in blue. You know, you're fine. You're gonna hit into everything in security and be fine. If you've seen, a lot of people have been complaining about purple with scatter mode, because scatter mode with 4,000 DP keeps swinging into security and not dying, because just everything in the whole game is so low or has no DP at all that you know, you really don't have to worry about much at all. So 11,000 DP, plenty fine. So 3 security checks with Mega Gargomon. Yeah, there's our offense. Okay, the offense we were missing before, we definitely have that now. And then also we had 2 Nidhogg's in here before. I dropped it down to a 1 because this is just like a one-time bomb. Like really, this is for emergencies. If Eben Wumon can't get the job done of stunning your opponent a little bit, if you're just that far behind and your opponent has a massive crazy board and you got a Nidhogg, just go ahead and Nidhogg for not game, but definitely get you back into the game. If you're about to lose, you know, Nidhogg is a great way to prevent that. So Digiburst 4, suspend all your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less, which again in this format is pretty much a lot of it. You know, even a lot of the hybrids are 5,000 DP or less. Then place all of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. Trash all the Digivolution cards of those Digimon. It's also kind of nice, the fact that you're bottom decking a lot of those cards, so like hybrids and stuff not going to trash is huge. All those rookie hybrids, those level 4 hybrids that you're going to hit with Nidhogg, all those going to bottom of the deck is great, because that means no Susanomon in those decks running Susanomon, or if you're playing red, keeps all those cards out of trash, because red really likes their hybrids to go to trash. So Nidhoggmon is a great counter to like the whole red strategy completely, but also keeps Susanomon in check. You know, makes Susanomon way more difficult to pull off. So yeah, Nidhoggmon, just a great like all around utility piece. But I dropped 1 Nidhoggmon for something else. So we've got our defense here, we've got our offense here, we've got a little bit of utility in Nidhoggmon, and I dropped 1 copy of Nidhoggmon for 1 copy of Argomon. Probably a lot of people have seen this. You know, you kind of probably know it's coming. Digisorption 2, so you can reduce the Evo cost by 2 here. But when Digivolving, suspend all your opponent's tamers. All turns, your opponent's tamers don't unsuspend. That's it. They just don't unsuspend. This murders Shine decks. So Shine Greymon decks, when this card hits the field, cry. They absolutely cry, because they can't do, I mean, their whole linchpin of their deck is gone. So what do they do then if they can't if they can't shine Greymon you? That's rough. Okay, so he is absolutely murdered to that. But even not just that, against blue hybrid, this hits really hard. Red hybrid a little bit less so. They don't really spam a whole lot of hybrid or spam a whole lot of tamers. So they could just play another tamer and then Evo like they would normally. But still, I think he hits the problematic ones. Blue and yellow are like the world's worst that you don't want to deal with all those tamers. So this is specifically a tech for mainly just against those. It does hit other things a little bit, but just added one of simply because of, you never know when you're going to go into that matchup. And this is also intended for not having a side deck. So if you do run a side deck, you could definitely side this and then like bump something else back up. You could bump the Nidhoggmon back up, or your Ebenwu or Mega Garglemon, whatever, and just keep this guy in the side. But if you're not playing side decks, then definitely want to main deck it, at least at a one of. Okay, I think he's a solid one of just for those instances when things look rough. Okay. So that's it for our Digimon package for the most part. We'll get into this Valder Arm here at the end, though, in just a little bit. Next, we got Mimi here. I think Mimi's just a solid memory fixer for green. They don't have a whole lot of like outstanding targets. They got Ken, things like that. They technically also have Davis. Davis is a one you could look at. Since it's not a hybrid deck, you can argue running Davis simply because you don't have any hybrids that are going to digivolve on top of him. So that is something you could look at, but I think Mimi's still great. So if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to hatch one Digi-Egg or to an empty space in your breeding area, or move one level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding area to the battle area. Multiple double Mimi, okay, is like, if you played during that era of green OTK, you know the value of Mimi. So you just go in. So Mega Garglemon swings in here, clears 3 security. Just put your opponent, down to nothing. Double Mimi. So you hatch with the first one, Evo into a rookie. Second Mimi activates. You promote that, swing for game with that rookie. Okay, because you promote it out of raising area, even though that egg just hatched this turn, it doesn't have summoning sickness. In case you didn't know that. Anytime something is promoted out of raising area, it does not have summoning sickness, even if it was hatched that turn, because Mimi just overwrites game mechanics. She is the most game warping card, simply because she breaks the rules of everything that's Digimon rule wise for raising area. She just completely breaks all of it. Okay, so she's very good. So we have her in here as a 3 of. We had her as a 4 of in the match earlier this week. But I have a hard time playing that many memory fixers of the same memory fixer. I don't know. But she is good in multiples. You get multiples on field, it does not feel bad. You just get a lot of value out of that. So 3 Mimi for sure. Next, I got 2 needle sprays in here. Just suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. If it gets hit in security, you can suspend one of their Digimon and then add this card to hand. I think that add to hand is also very relevant. So, your opponent swings in, hits this guy. Say they swing in with like Gatsumon. They don't a delicate plan on you. So they swing in, Savior unsuspends them. Then all the checks happen. They hit needle spray. You suspend that Gatsumon before he gets his second attack off with whatever 2-3 security checks he's doing. So, against decks like that, that's really good. Even against decks like Blue, if they're playing, Magna Garurumon, because he unsuspends himself when he attacks. So, there's tons of different things in the meta that you can hit with this needle spray. I think it's just a very solid card. Just added 2 of in here. Because there's like some instances where you really want to like suspend something, whether that's like Nidhoggmon. So you're about to drop a Nidhoggmon, you want to suspend something of your opponent's that's like super threatening, whatever big mega they got out there, like a Dynasmon in yellow, or say they evoed into a Susanomon that's about to just wreck you so hard. Needle spray, suspend that big scary threat, Nidhogg. Okay. Just in here for some utility here. We don't have any kind of like piercing or anything like that we can get too much good value off of. Ebenwumon, it kind of combos neat with Ebenwumon, just forces him to toss another card out of hand. Mega Garglemon, not so much because he's already suspending something anyway. With his ability, but you definitely see the value in needle spray here. So just a little bit extra utility. I put 2 green memory boost in here, so just for the consistency, because we're kind of spreading our megas a little thin here. We're not playing like 3 copies of anything. if you really want to go offensive, like on the next turn, you need to get that Mega Gargomon to hand. So you can go Memory Boost there, reveal the top 4, and have a, increased chance to dig and grab the Mega that you need. So whatever, issue that you're in, Mimi's going to put you to 3. So you green Memory Boost for 3, and then grab the Mega that you need, and then swing in with your level 5, and then Evo into that exact Mega that you grabbed off the green Memory Boost. Remember, you Evo for free with these level 5s, so it's very, very powerful. As long as you start your turn at 3, you can do a lot of these cards that we're talking about here. Green Memory Boost, if you don't have it. However, if you do already have it, Dimension Scissor is kind of a nasty combo you can get going here. So a little underrated card, but a little bit forgotten, I think. I think he's a pretty sweet card for sure. BT1, way back in BT1, one of your Digimon gains the following effect for the turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives unsuspended. So you can just clear a whole bunch of things off field. So you got Mega Gargomon swinging in. He's going to suspend something. He swings over like a suspended Digimon. Dimension Scissors, he's going to unsuspend. So then you swing with Mega Gargomon again. Whatever he suspended with his ability, you're going to run over that. And then you unsuspend again, because Dimension Scissors is not once per turn, okay? Not once per turn. Even Eben Wumon here, you can get the same kind of value out of Eben Wumon. In fact, you might even get more value out of Eben Wumon, because when Digivolving, suspend something, okay? So we get the same amount of effect out of him as we do out of Mega Gargomon there, so we get that extra target we can run over, but then you gain this memory back. So what kind of value can you get out of that? So you've already Dimension Scissored for your 3 memory that Mimi puts you at. Eben Wumon, you go into Eben Wumon, he runs over whatever that target was, unsuspends. You gain like 2 memory off of Eben Wumon. Then you can go Needle Spray for another target. So in total, with Eben Wumon suspend, the Needle Spray suspend, and assuming there was something else already on field suspended, you can clear over 3 different targets with that combo. With Eben Wumon gaining that memory back, just allowing you to play more cards, more Needle Spray. You can play another Needle Spray if you want, whatever. I mean, the sky is the limit, really. Or 5 memory. Well, actually, it's actually unlimited memory. You can, however much they have suspended. So, man, Eben Wumon on a field of like 8 blue targets, golly, could you imagine the value there? Your opponent would their jaw would hit the floor and just hang there. If you Eben Wumon while they have like, for free, while they have like 8 targets, and then Dimension Scissored and just rock their whole world. If only you had piercing, though. So that's the one thing this deck is definitely missing, is piercing. But you can't have everything, unfortunately. And then the last card we have here is the Valder Arm. Why did I put Valder Arm in here? This might seem like an odd duck for a lot of people here. Green's removal options suck. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it, okay? Bottom deck a suspended Digimon. Probably if a Digimon is so threatening that you need to put it to the bottom of the deck after it's already attacked, I have a feeling you're probably already lost that game. Like, really? If it's already attacked, you've already lost. Okay, like Susanomon. If they bring out a Susanomon attack, clear 3 security, and somehow you're not dead after they do that and don't swing with anything else and finish the game, I really don't see you bottom decking a Susanomon for that amount of memory is going to do much. But if you can bottom deck something that hasn't attacked yet, that's really good. Just destroying something that hasn't attacked yet is really good. Valder Arm is kind of the closest we can sort of get, unfortunately. Minus 14,000 on one target. Unfortunately, Susanomon dodges this. Everything else, though, we clear. So Jesmons and whatever else that might be, Dynasmons. I'm drawing a blank on everything that's in the meta right now. Magna, Garurumons, whatever. Minus 14,000 DP is going to clear most of it. Or 2 things can minus 7,000 DP. Could be relevant. Clear off 2 level 5s. I can't think of what Jet Sylphie and what's his name? The Garurumon, the level 5 Garurumon, Beowulfmon. I can't think of what their DP is off the moment, but there are lots of things that you can double clear with the Valder Arm. And then if he's deleted, you gain 3 memory. So your opponent most of the time doesn't even want to delete a Valder Arm just because they don't want to deal with you gaining all that memory. So he's a flex spot, really, just because clearing threats off that are just too brutal to deal with. But you could definitely just drop him and add in something else. You want to just bump up your your numbers up here of your megas, go for it. I mean, at the end of the day, you can still just needle spray Nidhogg and kind of get the same effect, potentially. Might be even easier than Valder Arm. So, that's definitely something to look at as well. Just kind of personal preference is all.